clay name artwork. On one half of my paper, I have my first name. On the other I have one of my last names. If you did your first name twice or did a different combination of names or it looks a little different, that's just fine. The important thing is that with my marker, I've also traced this line where we folded and my letters go from the top to the bottom. That's created these closed spaces, like this triangle in my A, or all of these rectangles in between the different letters of my names. Today, we're going to start adding color with colored pencils, and we want to use our colors in the closed spaces. And what we want to do is we want to make our color have a variation of light and dark. We want it to be dark close to the edges and light in the middle. This will create a really cool effect. I've zoomed in here so you can see this bottom part of my letter W. It's upside down so it looks like the top of a letter M. And I'm going to choose a colored pencil. And I'm going to start out by basically tracing around the edge of this shape. Now if I just do two lines, have I traced around the whole triangle? No, I also need to get this edge that's the edge of the paper. So it's really dark. I've got a really dark triangle, but I'm not done yet. Now I want to color with my pencil, but this time I'm not pressing as hard. So this is a good way for us to practice how we can apply different amounts of pressure on our pencil. So I'm coloring a lot lighter. You can see there's different ways that the color looks. It looks darker near the edge and looks lighter in the middle because I'm not pressing as hard. And then I can sort of color really light, and maybe I'm going to even leave just the very center a little bit white. When I talk about not pressing all the way, here's what I mean. I'm going to show you on another piece of paper. Let's say that I have my pencil and I'm pressing as hard as I can. That's going to make something that looks really dark. And it's really hard to color this way for a long time. You'll notice your hand starts to get sore. But look, there's no white spaces in the inside of this coloring patch. If I take my colored pencil and I color lightly, it looks really different, right? It's the same pencil, but on the paper it looks really different. And this time my hand doesn't get as sore when I press more lightly. So this is what I mean when I say press hard. This is pressing lightly. They look different. Let's do it again in another part of our artwork. This time I'm going to do it in a bigger space. I'm going to do it in the other part of my W, which again, because my paper's upside down, looks like an M. So I want to use my color and I'm going to go all the way around the outside first. While I'm doing close to the outside, am I pressing hard or light? Yeah, I'm pressing really hard just by the outside edge. This is going to help us practice our colored pencil skills so we can get even better at coloring and control where our pencil's going. If it goes a little bit outside, it's not the end of the world. I just went outside a tiny bit. But to do our best job, we can slow down. If you slow down, it's easier to control where your pencil is going. Now, am I going to color the same or am I going to color lighter? I'm going to color lighter. So I'm going to press a little bit lighter. You'll notice when you're coloring lighter, it doesn't necessarily take as much time, and in some cases it's easier to be a little bit more careful. So we get practice using both hard pressure and light pressure, and we can see the different values that it's creating on our paper. Value is how light or dark a color is. So it's the same pencil. I haven't switched, but it looks really different from here to in here. And then for my middle, I'm going to color super light style. I can even try going in little circles to sort of hide my pencil strokes. And maybe I'll leave just a tiny little bit in the middle to be very light white of the paper page. It looks like I'm going really fast because of the camera, but I'm actually working super slowly and taking my time so I can do my best job and practice coloring really carefully. If I have little white gaps, I can also go in and look for them and fill them in so that my coloring looks really neat. So I'm going to touch this up by looking at my picture carefully and seeing where does it not match the other parts. Like right here, I think it should be smoother. So I'm going to use my pencil and I'm going to make some round lines to smooth it out. If you have sharp areas that need to be smoothed, you can use your pencil and make smooth lines to smooth them out. And then I would keep going with all of the other spaces in my paper. Everywhere there's a closed space. Some spaces are bigger than others. We can do the insides of the letters and we can do the outsides of the letters. So we can work on our whole picture. We want to make sure we fill every single space really carefully. So now I'm working on the outside of one of my letters with this darker color. In real life, it looks like a purple, but on the screen, it looks blue. Near the edge, am I doing hard or soft coloring? Should it be light or darkest? Yeah, it's hard, and that makes it a dark value. In the middle, should I do the same or pressing lightly? Yeah, as I go towards the middle, it should get lighter and lighter and lighter. I'm excited to see the beautiful job that you do as you work on your artworks inspired by Paul Klee.